previously.
All right, let's turn our attention to the world of Formula One.
GearsOnBalls.co.za with Sasha Martinengo and Daisy Fensham. Weekdays 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
It is only 33 days until the first official Formula One Grand Prix in Australia. Of course, still to come, we have some more testing that'll take place in Bahrain. It'll also take place in Bahrain. Basically, that's the last part. It starts on the 19th, which is next week, Wednesday. And basically, they will run until the 20th. They'll run the 19th, 20th, and 21st, 22nd. Then the 27th and 28th. And then the 1st and the 2nd. How's that of March? And then, of course, we will make our way down to Australia. I posted a really cool update on my Facebook page. I'll post it up on the Balls Facebook page as well, and we'll post it up on the Balls site as well. And that just, this year there is a new rule change, which basically allows the drivers to choose their own numbers for the cars. We've spoken about this at the beginning of the season, but F1 Racing have put up a really, really nice article as to why the drivers have chosen their specific numbers. For example, reigning world champion Sebastian Vettel will drive with the number 1 in his car because he's the reigning world champion. If he doesn't win another championship and he continues in Formula One, he will run with the number 5 on his car.
Why?
And he used the permanent number 5 in karting in 2001, won his first Formula One world title with it in 2010 with the number 5. So that's his lucky number.
That's so cool.
A guy like Danny Ricciardo uses the number 3. That was his first ever number in karting. It was also a fan of NASCAR's Dale Earnhardt growing up. So very, very cool. You know, getting to just understand why these stories are. My funniest one is Kimi Räikkönen. Kimi Räikkönen used this number last season, which was number 7, and his typical tone said there's no reason to change it. So there's no superstition about him. But it's a really cool article. We'll post it up on the Balls website for you as well. Norbert Haug, and he's not the only person. Now, he's the former Mercedes-Benz motorsport boss. It's not only him. Others have come out and said Mercedes are the favorites to win the title. He's come out and said it's either, well, of course, it's either going to be Nico Rosberg or Lewis Hamilton. But he says it would not surprise me if the title goes to Stuttgart, which is where Mercedes-Benz HQ is. He says this was the plan from the outset. He left at the beginning of the 2012 season. He says the Mercedes-Benz works team is now in its 5th year, took Red Bull 5 years to claim its first victory. That is what they've been looking at. So he's not the only person out there, believe you me, at the moment who is saying that this is the year for Mercedes-Benz. Formula One drivers are bracing themselves for what they call more sideways action during the Formula One season. Now, let me just explain what's going on here. Last week, Jenson Button came out, Fernando Alonso's come out saying the cars are quite a lot slower than what they were last season. Now, there's a couple of reasons for this. Number one, we go from 2.4 V8 engines to 1.6 six-cylinder turbo engines. Okay, so there already, just the size of the engine is a dramatic difference. We go from 17,500 RPM to 15,000 RPM. So you're losing 2,500 RPM on your car as well. However, in Jerez, when everyone tested, we did not see the full might of what these cars can do. But the biggest difference for this season is the complete change in aero downforce in the front of the car, which means that your cornering speeds are going to be significantly slower than those of last season. And because of this, your lap times are, of course, going to be slower. Some people are saying, oh, the GP2 cars are going to be as fast as Formula One. I doubt that very, very much. What I do anticipate is we're going to see this tremendous battle of guys having to really, really drive these cars a lot differently to what they've been driving in the past with the lack of downforce that they're going to have at the front. I think we're in for a terrific time with these cars, albeit, and I say it yet again, I'm still massively confused by this endurance racing and the fact that we're basically going to be trying to preserve fuel. This does not make sense to me at all. But we'll have to wait and see how it unfolds in the coming weeks and testing next week, and of course when we get to the first Grand Prix. More Formula One news. Sorry about your sports news, Daisy.
No, I don't mind, Sash.
That's okay. This is much more important. The Lotus E22 made its track debut over the weekend. It is the only car that has adopted a completely different philosophy in its nose design. Everyone else's noses either look like extended dildos or giant peni, or a very open weirdness. Whereas the Lotus car has gone for like a prong nose. All right, so basically it's got two prongs on the side where the nose would come down. So it's got like a long thingy and then a short thingy. One is longer than the other. And it's a different interpretation of the rules, but of course it is completely legal as well. We've spoken at length about Lotus and their problems. Gerard Boulier has left the team, which I think is a major, major loss for them. But it seems as though they've got some Russian buyers in as well. I just hope that they're going to have the right management to look after these two very exciting drivers in Maldonado and, of course, in Romain Grosjean. But that waits to be seen as well. Bernie Eccleston is talking a big talk at the moment. He believes his bribery charges against him will be dismissed before the trial even begins in April. Wow. He said, betcha it doesn't even happen. Things happen in life and you have to get on with it. Jeez, that's pretty confident from Monsieur Eccleston. And also standing on Bernie Eccleston. Now, coming 2015, there is going to be a budget cap in Formula One. Which I think is, I don't say budget caps are necessary, but the costs of running Formula One need to be brought down. So maybe in a way, yes, budget caps are there. The budget cap is going to be round about, the astonishing small number of $200 million. Just to put that into context for you, in rand value, that's 2.2 billion rand to run one team in Formula One. So now I understand how expensive Formula One is. But the budget cap is going to be around about $200 million. Teams like Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull Racing are using more than that $200 million for them to run at the moment. Other teams like Marussia sometimes only have about $30 to $50 million to run their whole team. So it would be nice so that everyone does come down a little bit, also save some money, bring some more sponsors in. I think it'll be very good for the sport as well. Now, Bernie Eccleston has come out and said, listen, Daisy, if you find out that somebody is spending more than their $200 million and you can prove it to me, I'll give you €1 million. I don't know what this all means, but $200 million is still a whack load of money. But
I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
That's like trying to spy on people.
Exactly. There's this little bit of bribery or whatever, etc., etc. Bernie, listen, go and deal with Germany and your court case. Final point, going back to Mercedes, of course, where they've got the favorite tag already after the first test in Jerez. Toto Wolff, the boss of Mercedes, has said, listen, let's not jump, let's not throw the cart before the horse. He says if you look back past seasons, the favorites after the first few days of testing are not always in the same position when it comes to the first race. All I can say is don't write off the likes of Red Bull Racing yet. They are the champions. They have been the champions for the last 4 years, even though they seem to be having difficulties with the Renault engine at the moment, as are all of the Renault runners. Believe you me, come Bahrain next week, we might see something completely different. There we go. That is a look at our world of Formula One this afternoon.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Beautiful.
Gears with Sasha Martinengo on bulls.co.za.